How's it going, guys? And welcome back to Retrospect, your go-to retro gaming podcast. You're listening to episode 40. Today, we'll be talking about the future of Pokemon. I'm your host, Jake Martin, and joining me as always on the mics, we have the globe-trotting Gobo, Brandon Saltalamacchia.
Gobo. What's a Gobo? That sounds really American.
I'm bringing it back. No, Croc and the Legend of the Gobos, dude.
Yeah, damn. I thought that was like some American slang. I'll take a Gobo, man. Those little fluffy things. Yeah, I'll take that.
Is that what a Gobo is? It's just little floaty things in the game?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I need to double check that because if I've like...
The globe-trotting Gobo, Brandon Saltalamacchia.
Yeah, they're like the little fluffy... Yeah. Gobos are small furry creatures who inhabit Forest Island where Croc was found. I'll take that, dude. I'll take that. My girlfriend would agree that I'm a little Gobo.
Small island creatures that inhabit the island. Hey, man, that's a good thing. Well, and I said globetrotting too because you'll be heading to New York sometime for secrets that cannot be said in the podcast yet. But
biggest collab to date, if it all goes through. You know, it's been pushed back already. We've had a couple of issues. This creative is so big that I'm just, you know, I'm brown nosing for sure. I'll do anything.
Please. But I mean, even if it doesn't go through, if you do make your way to New York, there could be some fun content you guys can make while you're just over there, just running around, just hanging out and meeting up with
game
folks.
Stores, Nintendo store. Rob, our video producer, has never been to America, so I want to take him up the Empire State Building and chuck him off. Maybe, who knows?
Just jump off.
Yeah, we're done. We're done here.
Please don't. No, please don't do that.
I love Rob.
Yeah, he's awesome. And the most recent Master Sword video he made was incredible. I was astonished at the level of research and detail he put into that. I was like, holy smokes, I did not know there was this much behind the Master Sword.
Yeah, his work is incredible. At the moment, we're really struggling to push numbers on this type of content because we built this viewer base that are just obsessed with handhelds. Yeah. So me and Rob both know this is a long-term strategy that we just need to keep pushing great content, and eventually, we build it, they will come.
If you build it. Hey, good reference, man. Good reference. So a little bit of housekeeping for you guys. We are still sponsored by a Handheld History 8080 to 95, but they have finished the pre-order funding round. They are fully funded now, so you guys can still get your regular copies, but the deluxe copies are gone. But I would highly recommend checking it out. It is super sick. I have my regular copy, pre-ordered it, and it should be arriving in the fall, right, Brandon?
Yeah. I think maybe even Q4. So maybe like October, November. Definitely before Christmas.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, be sure to write into the show or comment on any of your preferred watching or listening platforms, just like Lupo on YouTube. He said, loving the podcast. Soul Reaver to showcase the hack and slash style, and Tekken 3 for hours of fun with your friends. Got the Retroid 3 Plus after watching Retro Dodo review, and those two games are the first games I installed. Retro Dodo's review.
Good choice. The 3 Plus, you can't go wrong with it.
It's just cool to see that you have that connection to the community where, they'll watch a review of yours and make a purchase decision. They're like, yeah, I feel good about this.
Yeah, it's always good. And I don't want to tell everyone to keep buying certain products, so I do tend to chuck in a few which I don't recommend as well.
Yeah. Well, that's good. The people trust you, man. That's what it's all about. Building that trust. But also subscribe to us on your preferred platform and leave a review. It means a lot to us and it helps a lot. We are currently at 427 subscribers on YouTube, which is pretty cool. Nice. We're up there. We'll do a little fun thing for 500, maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And check out retrododo.com. There's some content always blowing up on there and going up, and you guys are crushing it, and it's fun seeing what the dodos can do.
Mm-hmm. And they can do some mighty things.
All right, so as I mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to jump into the main topic now. We are talking about the future of Pokemon. And I had this idea because, Brandon, you're currently playing through the final hours of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Have you finished that yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm about to jump into Area 0.
Okay.
Still trying to beat a boss beforehand. But
Okay.
yeah.
And I have Pokemon Violet just sitting here, just like sitting on my desk, waiting for me to finish it up. And I'm like, why haven't I finished this yet? Why have I not finished Pokemon? And I don't know about you, but I have gone in and out of like feeling like Pokemon is for me sometimes, because we talked about it in our second episode together, but we love Pokemon. Like, it's one of the most influential games of all time. It came out and like completely changed my perception of video games. I think it was like my first introduction really to video games. And I love it. I don't know. Do you feel that way at all sometimes about Pokemon, or are you like, nah, this is it, I'm all in on Pokemon every single time?
I dib and I dab. I'm in and out. Like I need, and we'll move on to this later. I need something unique. I need something that pushes the format forward, especially in a time where video games have so much choice. And you have so many good games that are £50 to £60 that you can buy and you can absolutely love. And because of the way, the economy is right now, £50 to £60 is a lot of money. So choosing which one you want to spend your hard-earned cash on is becoming, rarer and rarer. So for me, I'm always like, should I be buying Scarlet and Violet for £60? Is it a unique Pokemon game? And that's the questions I ask. And some games over the last 10 years, I haven't even purchased because I'm like, that just hasn't tickled my fancy. The reviews, there's nothing unique. But you can't hate Pokemon. They do so many things right. It's a huge global brand. Released in 96 when I was 4 or 5, 6. They've got the anime games. I'm reading off your notes now. They've got 24 movies. They've got the trading card game, which was published in 99, which I am a huge fan of, which we'll talk of later. You've got Pokemon Go, and you've got 40 mainline games with 48 spin-offs, 18 mobile games, and then arcade games and stuff that just, they sprinkle throughout.
That blew my mind. Like, there are so many Pokemon games. Like, because at first I was looking at just the mainline games, and I was like, well, hold on, there's a lot of other stuff out there too, and 48 spin-offs, and I checked. They are all legit. All like,
so what do you
legit
class
spin-offs.
as a spin-off?
So that's anything on console. That's not just the traditional Pokemon RPG.
Okay.
So like Pokemon Stadium, Pokken Tournament, Pokemon Snap, like those are all considered spin-offs.
Right.
And so there's so many of those games as well. I mean, anything Mystery Dungeon DX, like those are all different. And then, like, of course, the mobile game stuff. I looked at their page. The Pokemon Center or Pokemon Company page has these games listed off, and not all of them are games. Or maybe I should have said apps, but they have like Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Home, like all these like weird apps that are coming out. And it's like, I mean, they've got it all, man.
I remember
Arcade
one
games.
they had, which was really addictive. I think it was called like Magikarp Jump,
Yep.
where you had to like launch your Magikarp as high as you could.
Yep.
And one of my friends has a very addictive personality, and he was playing that like
He went in
deep
deep.
into the night, man, like searching for like gold Magikarp or something. And he said it was like almost relationship breaking. Like he had to like put down his phone or lock it away.
Brandon, you gotta help me. I'm in a bad place, man.
Yeah, this
I go
called
to sleep.
Magikarp, man.
I go to sleep thinking about Magikarp. Dude, well, I mean, yeah, Magikarp's like the dumbest Pokemon too. I played that Pokemon Stadium game, the one on 60. They released it on NSO, the mini game, and it's just like, what a simple concept. It's just you just push A, make him hit the timer, and I'm sure that's what like close to what the Magikarp mobile game is, but you like just jump really high. I don't know. Anyways, speaking of Pokemon, the current Pokedex also, I had to look this up because I keep on losing track of this number, but there's 1,015 Pokemon in the Pokedex.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
1,015. We started with 150.
Do you think someone knows every single Pokemon? Like remembering 1,015 names, that's
I'm sure. I'm sure there is somebody out there that loves Pokemon to the extent that they know every single Pokemon name. And I I would actually bet that they probably know it in like Pokedex order. There's somebody that probably can go through every single Pokemon in order. Although, I don't know. Because, like, are you familiar with like the Pi Day competitions? 3.1415.
Oh,
like,
right.
They list off as many numbers as they can. I wonder what the record is for that. Because if that person can do it, then I'm almost certain someone could do it with Pokemon.
I'd be impressed.
But yeah, Pokemon is, according to 2019's like data, they are the highest grossing media franchise of all time at 76.4 billion. And what's crazy is a huge chunk of that is just merchandise earnings. I think almost like more than half of that is just merchandise, and the other half is like movies. Would you
is like trading cards merchandise?
Probably I think anything that's removed from like the actual game itself, because the game was first, which is weird too. I didn't realize that. I thought the cards would have always been first, but
I thought it was the animation.
Yeah. So the anime released in '99, or oh gosh, I had this stat in there, but I think it was like almost the same time as like the game, but like shortly after.
Right.
I think the anime released a little bit shortly after the game did. But yeah, the game came out, anime, trading cards, all that jazz, and it just hit the US in like a tidal wave, and then everything I think came to the EU a year later. Yeah. And like it's just insane. Just insane in terms of how much money they've made off of that, and how big those original games were. Because even looking at the 2019 sales data, now this is a little bit unfair because they've released like remakes sort of that stay in that same generation, but I think like that by far the first generation is the most popular, probably because like we grew up with it and now we all have expendable income, and so we're buying those games again, or we're buying the remakes again, so that would lead to it. But I think they were like in like the sales of like 40 billion, something like that in 2019.
Oh man, and funny you say this, because when Pokemon launched here in the UK, we didn't really feel like we were late to the party compared to America. It just felt like it was release date. It just felt like we're the first to get it. And how weird that like life and internet and digital and tech has moved so quickly that even if, like, let's say Zelda launched a week or 2 weeks or maybe even a month later, you'd feel late to the party. You would have been spoiled. People would have completed it, and press would have been just everywhere. You can't do that this day and age. So a year, and it's the same with like console iterations and stuff, releasing later. But you just can't do that anymore.
You can't. Now, I will say, I don't know. I should have checked the dates, the specific dates, but it was 98 to 99. So it could have been like, because I think you said like, maybe even less, because I think we were looking at that for the PlayStation games, and there was one that released in like January in the EU or something like that. And you're like, that's a weird time to release a game. Yeah. But anyways, really, really like just insane. Like bigger than Star Wars, bigger than like some of like the most well-known Mickey Mouse franchise in general. Now, granted, Disney owns like 100 franchises, so
everything
in terms of revenue they make, they're fine. But yeah, bigger than Mickey Mouse in terms of global revenue, which is just insane. So that's kind of like just a quick run up on stats. And so now we'll kind of just run to current day where we are with the Pokemon franchise. Because I feel like for us to like talk about the future, we also need to kind of understand these two things. So Pokemon Scarlet came out and released like to some mediocre like reception. People were like, these games don't look great. They don't run great. Like the concept is awesome. But I think like that kind of hurt the brand a little bit, but it still sold, I think, 20.6 million units. So
I can't remember what it was. It was something like one of the Nintendo Switch's best exclusive launches for many years or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got so many things to say about Scarlet and Violet. Obviously, there's so much more that they've come out with, but like you said, it was an okay launch, and from my experience, it's an okay game. But Nintendo are literally looking at themselves and going, holy cow, we did it. This is the best game ever. We did it, folks. Let's rinse and repeat. Keep going.
We are geniuses. We're so good at this. I mean, there's 122 million Switches in the world, and 20 million of those people are basically, your Switches have Pokemon on it.
So like 1 in 5?
1 in 6, yeah.
1 in 6?
Yeah,
Oh.
insane. Which I'm sure the numbers are even higher now, but it's just like that attach rate is nuts. I mean, like that's up there with Mario Kart. I think it's like 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 Switches have Mario Kart on it. But I mean, in terms of, again, brand awareness, Pokemon is totally fine. We have DLC coming. I forget what it's called, but it's gonna, it's similar to the previous iteration where they had like the 2 different
something mask.
But yeah, DLC is inbound for that, so that'll keep Scarlet and Violet sort of in the light a little bit longer, and I hope that they release some more patches to kind of make it play a bit better. But yeah, Ash in the main anime has been sunsetted. He's finally leaving the anime after 25 years of being the main character. He's done. And then we have the 3DS and Wii U eShops like closing down. So the only way to play like retro Pokemon games really is through the original hardware if you still have it, and you can buy those games or emulation.
God damn it, Nintendo.
Because the 3DS for the longest time, that was the best way to play it, really, because like they had brought all the games to Virtual Console for the most part. You could still play your GBA games in there. Not anymore. Can't do it. So yeah, I think like where we're at with Pokemon really is like it's starting to kind of get a little bit quiet. We had the Pokemon movie Detective Pikachu release, I think, I don't know how many years ago now. That was the last, I feel like, big Pokemon movie. We just got Pokemon Stadium on NSO, which has been fun. But again, I think, that's for a very specific audience. And it's still
very niche, isn't it?
Yeah. Like that's for us. That's for those like 90s kids, They're like, oh yeah, Pokemon Stadium. This is great. And there's still over 5 million people that play Pokemon Go every day.
Every day?
Yeah. So Pokemon Go is doing fine.
Yeah, I did hear something about Pokemon Go, that I think they had their lowest concurrent players last month or something, but still 5 million players, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think comparatively they're still doing very well, but yeah. I remember when Pokemon Go first came out, like it took over the world, and I was so excited about it. I was like, this is so cool. Like, I can't believe they made this. And then, I don't know, I think I just fell off before they fixed a lot of stuff, and they added battling and trading and a whole bunch of stuff like after I'd already left. But I think
it made it hard to like come back in. I think, and that's the same with many games, like fast-paced games. I say fast-paced, but you know what I mean, where you get the OGs that play it for a year, and then they want to come back 3 years later, so they jump into their new account. There's all these settings they got to change, all these updates, and it's just a completely new game. So they're like, I don't want to have to relearn this. I feel left behind because I'm level 5 and everyone I meet is level 70. So it's kind of like that FOMO, and you just go, no, bye-bye.
No, I'm not doing this. I can't keep up. Yeah, that really is so true in terms of those like live service games that just keep on going. Like Destiny is the same way. I don't know if you ever played Destiny, but like
loved it
when it first came out. Kind of took a break and came back, and like my brother and all of his friends were like, they had a regular team they would play with, and they were all like insanely overpowered, and they had the coolest stuff. And I'm like, dude, I look like a doofus over here with like my level 10 armor. You guys are like just ripping through cape. Stuff. They're like, no, dude, just come play with us. We'll walk you through, and you'll get better gear. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, Pokemon, man, they are still crushing it. But yeah, I think it is a conversation worth having. It's like, can they continue to be successful if they just continue, like they just do things that seem like they're not pushing the brand forward enough? And
this is where I think the Pokemon Company are going to come to in the next few years, where it does get a little bit stale. Us, the people that were around originally, now have far more life concerns. We've got kids. We're trying to save for property. We haven't got the income or the cash to start spending on every Pokemon game that comes out.
Right.
And Scarlet and Violet, it was average. So they need to do something unique and to push the brand forward. So in my opinion, what they should be focusing on, or what they should be, there's two things I want to cover here. What they should be focusing on, and what they will likely focus on. So my first opinion is I think they should be starting to get into movies more. Bring back Detective Pikachu, which I think they're doing, and maybe launch some other Pokemon-related movies. I don't know if they try and remake the original TV show into a movie with like live action or something where they can create like a Pokemon universe. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of like movies.
Anytime that did you ever see the Dragon Ball Z live action movie?
No, I don't think yes, I did.
You may have blocked it out of your memory because it's terrible.
Yeah, remember that. Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
Or the Avatar live action movie, Last Airbender. That one was also not great. Better than the Dragon Ball Z movie, but not that good still. And then they're making a new one that looks to be better, like a TV show based one that hopefully I have high hopes for. But yeah, live action is a risk, but it could be really cool. I see where you're going with that, kind of like Detective Pikachu, but just
I see Disney pulling it off, and the animation that they did with Super Mario. They've got money. Nintendo's got money, and if they were to pull it off, they could compete with. No, they couldn't. They couldn't compete with Disney, but something there to pull the Disney folk over.
Yeah, man.
In terms of like games, just one simple thing: graphical advancements. Why am I playing games that look like there's something from 2010? And I try and like picture my history of Pokemon, and I always feel like up until maybe the Nintendo 3DS, or maybe the DS, like I feel like Pokemon's graphical advancements stayed in par with everything else, kind of. You always felt like every game you bought, there was something new, refreshed. It looked a little bit better or whatever. But now,
a little different, yeah.
I feel like it's going backwards, especially with Scarlet and Violet. That thing was a bloody potato, honestly. Like,
did not look good.
It's just disgusting.
Gross. I'm so grossed out right now looking at this.
Yeah, there's something there.
So I had the same thought with the graphical components, because I was like, man, I would love, the Unreal like tech demos that they release every now and then that like just look insane. I think that would be really neat to see a Pokemon game in that art style. But then part of me is like, but they're kind of trying to stick still to the anime. Like they want to keep it tied to that anime art style a little bit. And so if they do go that route, I think they just got to make it look better. Because like, did you ever play Persona 5 or any of the Persona games?
I know of it.
But yeah, those games have like a cartoon anime sort of cel shaded style, and it looks incredible, gorgeous.
Right.
And so I think if they just applied that kind of, I think, just clarity to the actual like manga or like anime art style that they have going there, it could look really nice.
Yeah. And I know it's like two completely different kind of like graphical designs, but Fortnite did it really well, keeping like the animated, no, not really animated, but the cartoony
Pixar
visuals, but super crisp.
Yeah. They could definitely do more to keep it looking nice.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo are just launching so much that, the developers are probably like, oh crap, we've got 6 months to work on this, and then we're on to something else.
Well, I mean, so Pokemon Company is completely separate from Nintendo. Like Game Freak, they operate independently from Nintendo, but they are so tied to Nintendo that it is weird that Nintendo hasn't stepped in to be like, hey, this looks like garbage. We can't release this. Because like that doesn't happen anywhere else, and then like Nintendo's any like mainline IPs, like even with Breath of the Wild, that game is huge, has a similar art style, but like just performed a lot better, and I think looked a lot better from an art style. Whereas like Scarlet and Violet's like it doesn't look good. Now again, this is the Pokemon Company's first main take at like true open world Pokemon, so they're learning as they're developing this stuff. But I mean, yeah, they need some help in terms of the graphical / performance side, for sure.
Agreed. They did some like unique gameplay recently with Pokemon Legends Arceus. That was a very unique play style, a different catch style. You could mount Pokemon, which I thought was really cool. You fly, swim, climb. Yeah. That's really cool. So I hope they do more of that. But what they'll likely focus on is just maybe a new Pokemon Legends. They'll try and I'm hoping bring the originals to Switch Online. They'll launch Pokemon Go, and they'll probably keep pumping their smaller apps like Pokemon Unite for microtransactions and stuff to make that mullah.
That moolah. Yeah, for me, like I'm kind of in agreement with you on what they should focus on next. I think they need to probably do their best to bring all of their other Pokemon games back to NSO. Like that would be the first my first move as a Pokemon Company exec is like, okay, we've shut off access to these old games. NSO exists, and it's a great way to play all of these retro games. We already have all the devices emulated here that we would need to bring our games to it. I think it's a no-brainer for them to bring all of their catalog to NSO. Maybe not immediately, but like the drip feed over time, like starting with the first. Like here's Red and Blue. Okay, now here's Gold and Silver. Here's Ruby and Sapphire. Like they could drum up so much hype for Pokemon by just drip feeding those games on NSO, and I think that would be huge.
Huge press as well for that. They'll get loads of press, and that will push, like, they're coming out, you may not know this, but they're coming out of a new Pokemon TCG set called 151.
Yeah.
It's coming out in June in Japan, so maybe like July, August for everywhere else.
It looks great.
If they did that at the same time, ching ching, do you know what I mean? That money just dripping.
That's when you release it, you genius.
Man, they need me
genius.
on their team.
Yeah, dude. Here, I'll shoot them an email for us. Hey, come on the podcast and we'll talk about marketing.
Yeah.
And then for the next mainline game, I had some fun with this. So I wrote down secrets in our outline, but I have Jake's secret Pokemon game. All right. So here's my pitch. Continue the idea of an open world Pokemon game, but make it look good. So what we talked about. Improve the travel mechanics a bit more. They aren't bad in Scarlet and Violet, but it could be a little bit better. Only new Pokemon in this game, all right? This is where I get a little bit controversial. No previous Pokemon included. Stop, okay? I don't care how mad everyone will get. Like, we need to move on as a society. Like, if you want to play a Pokemon game with your favorite gen, you can do that. Go back and play the same exact Pokemon game you've been playing for the past 20 years. Like, go play Pokemon Red if you want to play it again. Like, they're right there. Now, obviously, this works better if they bring the games to NSO, but, like, the whole, like, we need to have all my favorite Pokemon, that's too much, okay?
Yeah.
There's too many Pokemon. We have 1,015 Pokemon, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. No Pokemon feels special anymore because there's so many. I think by reducing it down to, like, hey, this is this game. These are all new Pokemon you can play with, and this is it. Like, I think that would be short term, it would hurt a lot of people probably. So that is a business decision, but long term, better for the franchise because it's like, oh, this game's unique because it has these really cool Pokemon that don't exist outside of it anywhere else. Like, that's where you got to go.
Yeah, that's a good little marketing strategy, actually, because if you miss out, again, that's like FOMO. It's FOMO marketing. Oh, you don't know this Pokemon? What the hell? You need to go back and buy this game. And
right. And it's the mainline Pokemon game. Like, you can bring your spin-offs out that have, like, you know, mashups and other Pokemon across the franchises, but for the mainline one, we got to stop doing this. We got to stop, okay? No cheeky power-ups, okay? I'm tired of, like, the power-up, you know, like, level-up thing. Bring it back to the basics. Just, like, they're Pokemon. They evolve. They have unique elements and battle. That's all you got to do. I don't need all this Dynamax, level-up, crystallize. I don't need that. Okay, I don't need that. All right,
I don't need you to crystallize my Pokemon.
I don't need that. That doesn't even make sense. Okay, how did we get from Pokemon that only just evolved to turning into giant crystals? I don't understand. Okay, besides the point. And then the last two things: make customization as easily as possible or simple as possible. So when I say customization, I mean like picking their move sets per competitive play. Okay. So because like breeding is a pain in the ass. No one likes having to actually do that. Learning a specific move is a terrible time. So like when you look at competitive setups for Pokemon, a lot of times it's like, oh, to have your, you know, so-and-so learn Fire Punch, you actually need to go find a Slowbro, have it breed with this Ditto, then have it inherit this move, and then bring it over to your other Pokemon and then breed 100 times to get the right nature. Like, after you beat the Elite Four in the main story, just let people set up their Pokemon with some weird device you earn after you have finished like the final challenge. So that way, like, it doesn't break the game because you're not making super competitive Pokemon at the start, and then you can like finish the game and then actually go play online and not get decimated by like random people on the internet. That's my main take there. And then finally, the big game changer here. I think it'd be really cool to have like sim elements added to the game. So to your original Pokemon town that you start out in, like you always do, as you're traveling, meeting people, competing, earning recognition as a trainer, you can build up your own town, sort of like you did in Arceus, but like a whole lot more. and like build your very own gym that you're in charge of. So like you pick your element focus, you pick your layout, your style, and then people like online can challenge your gym if they want to. Like you just like build your town up essentially, like with people you meet, and they come back and they open a restaurant or they open a store, or you get a new merch item that you can bring back to your town, and like basically you're bringing Pallet Town essentially, you know, in quotes, up as this like recognized city because you, the best trainer in the world, are from there. And I think that's so
awesome.
Sick.
A bit like Animal Crossing style.
Exactly. I was gonna say Animal Crossing, and I was like, maybe not. I don't know, but yeah, just like that, basically. So there you go. There's my idea.
Interesting. You know what I would add on to that, because you said get rid of like new old Pokemon and just keep new, like a new type. I don't know what you'd call it.
Yeah.
Let's say a neutral type that you can breed or evolve. Like I want to word this perfectly because I want to kind of copyright it, because if Nintendo do this, I'm completely linking back to this podcast. like a it's not evolution, like a chronolution, like a mixolution, where these new types of Pokemon, there might not be many, let's say 15. There's 15 of like rare types, but you can mix them together or breed them together to create a whole new Pokemon. So you have like this top pyramid of like 10 Pokemon, but actually the evolution line comes down to like 300 new Pokemon if you want to like mix them and breed them. Like I don't know how you, like a Ditto, and like, you know, just something where people are building these new Pokemon that were never existed, but someone discovers them somehow, that they've breeded this one with this one with this one, and you mix it with this one and it creates like this Pikachu
Super
with like on an elephant or something. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Because that is
the hand gestures you were making does not make me. It's like a horror experiment. Like, what have you done?
Like Pikachu with like an eye hanging out, like god. But you know, and I think like that could like tie into like the marketing as well. Obviously they can't, you know, like market these Pokemon outside of the game, but someone goes, look, I've built this new Pokemon called Pikachu Giraffemon, and people are like, how you do that? You breed this one with this one, you just shove a seed up their ass, you make them eat this pie, and you breed them. You know,
that's honestly what it would be like, though. It's like, oh yeah, it needs to, like, there could be so many variables to make that Pokemon work. Oh man. I mean, I love the idea.
Hell for Nintendo would be.
Yeah,
hell.
that sounds like a nightmare to develop for. I mean, if they can't just get the regular Pokemon stuff down, I don't know if they could do that. But that would be a pipe dream.
They could use like AI or something. You know, I don't know. It's some
bringing in the AI, and then we'll just slap some NFTs on it. We're good to go, man. Oh god.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I think I had the same idea about like evolution in general. It's always been like, you know, they evolve maybe 3 times, like once or twice, and then they have their third form. Like it could be cool to like introduce like some sort of different evolution style, you know. I know they
have one which is like a cake, like it's like a different flavor of cake. Am I getting this wrong? Like
no, you're probably right. There's too many Pokemon. That's what I'm saying. There's too many. There's the ice cream cone. That one just
I think that one's it.
It just adds an extra scoop to the top of the ice cream.
What
cone.
the fuck?
Oh, you cut out at like the perfect time.
No.
Oh. But yeah, I think it's become a mess. There's too many Pokemon out there. So, what would your idea be for like a spin-off game or like a remake that they could bring back?
I really want them to bring back Pokemon Pinball. I love that, and I think, you know, with these like puzzle games coming out in popularity, like the Tetris show is obviously bringing back like, the love of Tetris. Just simple games that you can play on for hours on end. I think, you know, even bringing Pokemon Pinball to Nintendo Switch Online or remaking it into a really new fun format with the Joy-Cons, like there should be something there where you can pull the pin back and start slashing or something.
Dude, even turn it into like Tate mode, as we learned, like giving you like the whole like vertical positioning of the Switch. That'd be cool for a pinball.
Yeah. I love Pokemon Pinball. So bringing that back, you know, is a way to probably increase your microtransactions if they were to do it that way.
Don't you say it. Don't you say that.
You know,
Did you play it on Game Boy? The original Pokemon Pinball?
Loved it, man. Loved it. 'Cause it came out with the vibration pack as well,
That's
didn't
right.
it? Which was just like
So cool.
Holy shit! Seeing someone like come to school with their Game Boy Color and like this giant
On top,
cartridge.
What
Like,
is
damn,
that
I need
thing?
that.
It's Pokemon
Nobody had
Pinball,
the
bro.
nobody had the battery cover because that thing like pinged off on day one.
It did. Yeah, it came off way too easy. I
Yeah.
wish I still had my copy. I sold it, I'm sure, as a kid to buy something else, when I was younger. But I had it. I had it. It was great.
Good
Still remember that music too. Good stuff. For me, I think that they could bring back Pokemon Stadium. Having played it recently on NSO, I think that they could try that formula again, just with newer Pokemon. Maybe not all 1015 Pokemon. But yeah, like seeing, because like that gives us an opportunity. Like if they want to stick to the manga or anime art style for their mainline games, they could bring them to Pokemon Stadium where they look hyper realistic, and it's like a really cool experience where it's like this is like what this is what I envision my battles actually looking like as a kid. Like I think that'd be cool.
I guess they've got some experience or inspiration from Pokémon, which they could use.
Exactly. Like I think you could even combine some elements from the Pokemon tournament series where like, maybe instead of like you could do traditional turn-based Pokemon Stadium where you're battling like you would in the game. Or if you wanted to, you could take control of the actual Pokemon and have them like performing the moves, like make them do stuff. Not like Smash Bros, but kind of in that vein where like the moves are very simple to pull off and achieve, but it's more about like timing and making sure you're dodging or doing whatever you can to like get the best attack out. Obviously the type advantage would be still very important, but I thought that'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
I agree.
Fun.
And it kind of brings me, when you were talking about that then, I kind of went way in the future. I was thinking about Pokemon in VR and how Pokemon Stadium would be cool because you'd be the trainer behind the Pokemon. And if your Charizard's like, back in like the anime days that picks up the Blastoise and drops in front and you're just looking. Like you don't really need to be doing much, but like experiencing like the attacks that you can select on your controller and then watching it happen.
You just grab your Pokeball just like this and you're like, you just throw your Pokeball out there.
I'm just picking up their Weedle and just I'm like, what is he doing? You can't punch a Pokemon. And just like trying to boot the Voltorb out of the stadium. Like,
it explodes. It explodes. Like, I just love the idea of you punching a Weedle. Just
don't know why I picked the Weedle, man.
The most defenseless Pokemon. It's like a little caterpillar.
Just headbutting a Kakuna. Eesh. Harden. Eesh. Harden.
Are you pulling out some freaking Karate Kid technique right there?
Oh, yeah. Aish. Oh, God.
Bro, you got me dying.
I have
That is
dreams
so
about
funny.
that, I'm
Just
sure.
punching a Weedle in the face. Oh, man. That is hilarious. All right. Well, I don't know. This podcast has kind of got me excited for like what Pokemon could do because I think like I was always considering I'm like am I just old or is Pokemon actually getting stale? And I think it's a little bit of both. Like obviously we're probably falling outside of the demographic that would be like immediately appealing for Pokemon. But also growing up with it, like we have a huge heart and like so much nostalgia for the series. So I think if they did something like if they combined our two ideas and sort of brought something out that was consistent, stayed with, the mainline series and kind of just hit on all the right shells, I think I would be there. I'd be there.
Yeah. Yeah, the sales is indicating that they're doing something incredibly right. And
right.
I think you're correct. That us old folks just want something a little more graphically advanced, something a bit more appealing in maybe a remake that's a bit more mature.
There you go. A little more mature Pokemon. Blood, guts, all the things.
And drop kicking Weedles.
And drop kicking Weedles. Stomping on Weedles left and right. I'm a mass Pokemon murderer. All right, man. Well, jumping over real quick to our last segment. I got to know, Brandon, what are you playing?
While on the subject of Pokemon, I picked up a few new packs recently. I'm diving into a little bit of Magic the Gathering, so I guess you could say a little bit of Wizards of the Coast and a little bit of No More Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, wow.
Just playing around with Pokemon packs and stuff, trying to collect stuff. For those that are seeing on the video, you can kind of see like the Pokemon cards are evolving so much. Like, look at that art. That is one card. And they're kind of keeping to their classic stuff as well, which is cool. So I'm just collecting.
So sick.
Yeah, and I feel like their trading card game is doing something their video games aren't doing, and that's evolving quickly. They're really
nice
taking,
pun.
They're taking art form to a whole new level. And I've been messing a little bit around with Magic the Gathering, kind of collecting some packs, and even like Magic the Gathering, they're doing some unique stuff. You can't see it, but they're doing like double-sided cards now, which is cool, and some of their art is incredible. So kind of just testing some new card games and stuff.
Nice.
For cardgamer.com, which is our upcoming website. But yeah, just messing around with card games.
Just messing around.
Yeah.
I like the dual-sided card. It reminds me of like the Yu-Gi-Oh anime where it's like, oh, you've activated my trap card, and he like flips it over, you know?
Yeah,
oh, blue eyes white dragon. Blue eyes white dragon. Hey, Yogi. Yeah. Anyways.
What about you? What are you playing?
Dude, I'm excited to announce officially on the podcast that I finally freaking beat Wild Frost.
Holy smokes. On normal difficulty as well, am I right?
Normal difficulty, bro. Okay, I haven't even
balls.
found the feature to change the difficulty. I looked. I couldn't find it, so I don't think they've added it yet.
Maybe it's an upcoming update.
They announced it. Yeah, maybe they're adding it in the newest update, but it's not there yet. But I beat it, bro. And I was so happy. My wife was getting so mad at me. She was like, this game sucks. Like, you haven't won yet. Like, why are you still playing this? And I'm like, that's a great question. I was like, I think I just know that I have to beat it now because I've lost so many times.
Yeah, never back down.
I'm going to do this, yeah.
How many hours do you put into it, do you think, to complete it?
I should check. But, I mean,
20?
I'm probably about that. Yeah, 15 to 20 hours. And I like, maybe a little bit less, but like, I played so many games, dude. So many games where I just died in the first like 2 rounds. Somewhere made it like right near the end, I died. So brutal. But yeah, I had a setup where there's a thing called Lil Berry, Lil Berry guy, and anytime he's healed, he gets really strong. And then there's this other card called Chrono that basically gives you like multiple attacks per like crowned card that you have. So if you put a crown on like your team, they'll attack multiple times in a row essentially. And so I think I got it to where like they would attack like 3 or 4 times each, and they were doing like massive damage. And so I mean, there was nothing that the guys could do to stop me. I was just like decimating them. So
damn,
it was pretty cool. I
need to get it because it's cheap as well, isn't it? Like 15 quid.
Yep, $15-20. And yeah, maybe when you get it, they'll have the difficulty thing out this time. Who knows?
What you trying to say, man? You trying to say that I need?
I'm just saying, save yourself some frustrations, okay?
Save yourself 10 hours.
Yeah, experience the game, have a good time, get out of there, okay? Come back later, maybe next time. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. All right.
Oh, God.
All right, well, that's awesome, and that's really all I played. I think I mentioned at the top I played a ton of like NSO stuff, GoldenEye, Pokemon Stadium, Kirby 64, Mario Kart 64. Like I just like went through a rip with one of my friends playing online. That was pretty fun.
Nice,
would recommend.
Nice, yeah.
Would recommend.
By the time people are listening to this, it's going to be Zelda week.
Oh
so
yeah, baby!
Come back next week, and we should be talking about that. I can imagine.
That's right. All right, y'all. Well, that is all the time we have this week. Listeners, what are your thoughts on Pokemon? What do you hope to see in the future? Let us know by writing in to retrospect@retrododo.com or commenting on your preferred listening channel. Brandon, thank you so much as always. Where can folks find you on the internet?
Retro_Dodo.
Fantabulous. Same for me, Bitbloggist, BITBLOGGIST. And until then, y'all, catch you in the next episode.
Ciao.
Bye.